Looks like tomorrow at 12 p.m. is already booked. Could you suggest another time?
Alright, does 2 p.m. work tomorrow?
One moment. Your appointment is successfully booked for tomorrow at 2 p.m., Mo. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out.
Nice, thank you. Hello everybody, today we're going to see how we can create a real-time voice agent that's connected to a phone number that can schedule appointments through Tixa and also through Make. And I have here a calendar mockup as if this is basically the schedule of a dentist. So let's actually try and code this agent right now. So before starting, I wanted to mention that I'm using Skype, by the way. I'm in Egypt, so the latency is going to be a little bit too much. So if you are from North America or Europe, it's going to be a little bit less. Nothing crazy. Even if you are in like the other side of the world, it's still usable. All right, so let's start the call.
Hello, welcome to Ben's Clinic. Would you like to book a new appointment, cancel one, or check pricing?
Hello, can I book a new appointment, please?
Of course. We work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, except Sundays and Fridays. May I have your name, please?
Sure, my name is Mo.
Thank you, Mo. Can you please provide your phone number?
Yeah, my phone number is 019532.
Great. Lastly, what time works for you for the appointment?
Can we do tomorrow at 12 p.m.?
On it. Looks like tomorrow at 12 p.m. is already booked. Could you suggest another time?
Alright, does 2 p.m. work tomorrow?
One moment. Your appointment is successfully booked for tomorrow at 2 p.m., Mo. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out.
Nice, thank you. Alright, so as you can see from this initial test, this agent is able to know the calendar and is able to let the user know if this appointment is already booked, and if it's not booked, it's able to book the appointment in the calendar in real time without any issues. So all of that was created through a very simple setup that we have here with these three nodes on Tixa, and also we also have three tools here. So yeah, if you also noticed, we have here a cancel appointment tool. So that means that the agent should be able to cancel appointments as well, and that is true. If I go here and I try to cancel that appointment that I just did, so if I call,
Welcome to Ben's Clinic. How can I assist you today? Would you like to book a new appointment, cancel one?
sorry, I
or
wanted
check
to
the
cancel
pricing?
an appointment that I did just a few minutes ago.
Please provide me with the date and time of the appointment you'd like to cancel.
Can I cancel the appointment that was at tomorrow by 2 p.m.?
I need it. All right, one sec. Your appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. has been successfully canceled. Let me know if you need anything else.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. If you need anything else, just let me know. Have a great day.
All right, looks great. Now, let's try and build the same agent from scratch with Tixa agents and Make. Let's see how easy it is. And by the way, all of what we're going to do in this video is completely free. Nothing is paid whatsoever, not even Make. So let's create another scheduler bot here, scheduler 2. By the way, I am going to cheat a little bit from the older agent. But yeah, it's just a showcase of what you can do. And also, I'm going to show some concepts here. So first of all, here is the landing page that you have for when you create the agent, which is basically the design. Also, we have here lot of fancy UI options here, like this, where you can convert your whole widget into a little, like let's say, help center. You can play around with all of these options. But yeah, let's keep that for another video. What we'll focus on is the voice and the builder. Also, we'll talk a little bit about the knowledge as well. So the voice tab is where you can set up the voice, and how the voice works behind the scenes in Tixa is we have basically a transcriber that takes your speech and converts it into text in real time as fast as we can. We support multiple providers here, and then you could choose the model. Phone call is pretty good for Twilio. You can also choose the language. It supports a lot of languages here, which is also handy. And also here, this option is actually important. You can adjust whether you want this transcriber to be overly patient or very snappy. Like if I have this as 0, it's going to be very, very fast to the point that it's just like every word is going to be independent. So it's, yeah, making this too low or too high is not the best. I'd say that 150 is the sweet spot right now. And then also for speech gen, you have here also the same idea. We have a lot of speech providers. Latency of Convocore.ai is, I would say, the best right now. All right, so also as you can see, we can also change the background noise to office or street or restaurant. Let's just keep it at office and try it out.
I hope you're having a great Monday. I'm here and ready to help you with whatever you need.
As you can see, there is this office background, and of course we are going to support even more features regarding this background noise, including adding your own background noise very soon. And here we also have an audio library for every one of these providers for you to just check out the voices real quick. By the way, this consumes a little bit of credits, but not
Hello,
really.
how are you?
This is the voice that we're
Hello,
using.
how are you? Hello, how are you?
You can also do that for Convocore.ai, for any of the providers that we have. And then for the phone numbers tab, once you have finished completely building your agent, this is where you buy a phone number, a Twilio phone number, which is just, the slot is $3. And then you're able to assign the agent to that phone number. And that's it. Super simple to deploy to a phone number. There's also some advanced settings. If you want to enable web calling, we can disable that, and then this icon wouldn't show. You can also enable router back channeling. The router, I'm going to talk about that in a second, but basically whenever the agent is choosing a node or choosing a system prompt to continue generating a response, this is where there might be some delay. So we have back channel for that. We don't really recommend that, because it's actually temporarily disabled till it's a little bit more stable, but generally it can be a little bit more responsive. And here you can choose or to record calls or not record calls. Of course, with compliance, you may have to turn this off. And also for all of the events like conversation updates, like when the call ends and all of that, you can also add your server URLs here for your server or your backend to stay synced. Now, all of that is regarding the voice. You can also see the pricing here real quick per minute. Very simple. These estimates are going to change, are going to be less when you upgrade your plan. So yeah, feel free to try it out. Of course, all of that, you can still try voice completely for free. And now for the exciting stuff, which is the new nodes system. Now, what exactly is that? Is basically, instead of having one system prompt for your agent and one set of tools, we will now split this to multiple prompts and multiple tools. And every tool, let's say you have a tool that can use multiple of variables. Let's say you have one for canceling an appointment and another for scheduling, but both are going to use the email variable, for example. So all of that will require you to sometimes repeat yourself. This is where we really try to help you not do that at all. You will not repeat yourself. You will build something once, and then it is very easy to maintain. It's very easy to scale. And let's just try and see here the start node, for example. So here we have here, this is the landing system prompt that the agent lands on. So here, I just mentioned, greet the user warmly and tell him that you are ready to help him. If I say speak in French, it is going to actually speak in French. And if I try to debug, here you go. In a second, by the way, this is using G-Rock, that's why it's very fast. But yeah, as you can see, this is just a very simple system prompt. Now, why is this different and why is this powerful is how it can scale. What are we going to build today is basically a scheduling bot. Now, when you're thinking about scheduling, well, most of the time you can do two things, or just a secretary for anything, not just a dentist. A secretary can either book appointments, can like answer general questions, or it can also cancel appointments, just manage a schedule. So let's actually do the hard part first, and then we can do the FAQ part later. So most of the time you just go here, and then let's remove this for a second, and let's just mention to it, ask the customer if they want to book an appointment with Ben, the dentist, or cancel an appointment. All right, so this will tell this node that, hey, based on what the user mentions, after the user mentions their first message, let's say they want to schedule an appointment, before actually generating, check that, and based on that, you should route to the appropriate node. And what I mean by that is, let's actually add the two nodes here that I want this agent to route to based on the different scenario. And here, just think of these nodes as just little agents. Every one of these nodes acts as if they are a little agent. So here, let's name this node as, this would be the schedule appointment node, and then here, this is just for the node, let's not have typos, the node for scheduling appointments. And then the instructions here would be very simple. First, before actually mentioning the instructions, what we want this agent to do is we want to first ask the user or the customer some of the information, and based on that information, we will use a tool to interact with an API to create an appointment or fail if an appointment already exists, like what we already have seen just minutes before. So here I'll just mention, hey, I want you to ask the user for their name, phone number, and their preferred date of attending the appointment. And then I can mention to it in bold, and by the way, the AI actually can make sense of bold text and underline more easier, so keep that in mind. And then I can mention here, our work schedule is daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. except Sundays and Fridays. All right, so here the AI is actually going to understand that based on today's date, and by the way, you don't even need to mention anything else. The AI does know all the time. Like if I ask it here, what's today's date? It is going to know today's date all the time without any issues. Today is January 20th, 2025. And by the way, this is based on the server's date, all right? Not your date. Okay, so what I mean by the server's date is, if you see here at the, this is a little bit advanced, but here it mentions EU. We have two servers, one in Berlin and another one in Northern Virginia in the US. So basically, based on that, this is the dates that the AI is going to know. In the future, we will update that probably so that it's UTC, so it's just more consistent. And I recommend that you do that as well. But anything time zone wise, just make sure that it is, you just don't have to confuse the AI more than it will be confused, because it will hallucinate a lot from experience. These systems are really powerful, but they still hallucinate, and of course we try to minimize that as much as we can. All right, so here, based on that, it can know basically the date. I don't really need to do anything else. And then here is the LLM that I choose for generating the response. All right, so there are two important aspects here. So first, let me actually add a condition here. If the user, customer, asks for or wants to book an appointment, in that case, you should go here. And then if the customer wants to cancel an appointment, you should go here. All right, here you go. Super simple. And then we have this node as the cancel node. Cancel appointment, just take the saved value. And then the description would be the node for canceling appointments. And then the instructions here would be the same thing. Here you will ask the customer for the date that they want to cancel. All right, and basically we will just ask for the date just to illustrate the idea, but of course we can add much more information like their phone number. You can even send SMS to verify their phone number. Then based on that, you can cancel the appointment. You can have a very, very advanced setup, but we'll leave the advanced stuff for later. We're just going to convey the idea here. So here, as you can see, we have here two routers. So there is a very important difference between LLM, this LLM section. Let's close this debugger. There is an important difference between this LLM and the router. So the router, before generating a response, the router would actually understand what the conversation is about and what you are trying to say before even generating anything. So let's say, as this first message, of course, like initially, I don't really have anything to say, so it's just landed on the start node. So if I say after that, what is your name? Like some general question. I don't really have any condition here that matches this question. So what will happen is I will send this message, and then the system will understand, oh, you don't really have anything, we don't really need to route to any node. So I guess we'll just stay on this node that you are on right now. And as you can see, this is what is going to happen. No debug messages that it switch it to nodes, to another node, which is a good sign. This is what we want. Now, if I mention, hey, I want to book an appointment. Okay, so before even generating a response, it will capture that instantly. All right, and then it will switch to that node. Oh, so I want to book an appointment. Then it will understand, oh, I shouldn't be on this node now. I should be on that node. All right, and then the generation here will depend on the system prompt that is in here. All right, so whatever is in here will be the final say in this generation, and this start node now will have nothing to do with it. All right, so I hope that this concept is understandable, because this is one of the most important concepts of this whole nodes system, and it is why we created something like this. All right, now this means that we can, for this node, we can choose a different LLM for each node. That's completely right. We can have here Claude Sonnet, for example. We can have DeepSeek. The new DeepSeek is actually very interesting. We can have also Llama. It is very, very fast, but it's a little unstable. So yeah, we can also adjust the temperature, the max tokens, and all of that without issues. And also now, in addition to all of that, we can also add tools to these nodes. And this is the real power of the nodes kicking in. So let's say that, for the start node, you don't really need any tools, or you don't really need to connect to any API. Think of tools as whenever we need to connect to a calendar, whenever we need to connect to a database, or something that changes quite a lot, or you want the AI to do something. This is when we use tools, and this is when we create tools. So here, I just want a tool for creating an appointment. Create appointment or book appointment. This, of course, all of this has to be as human as possible. Like this information, the AI will make sense of this whole setup. So the more understandable it is, the less hallucinations the AI will make. All right. So here, what does this tool do? Use this tool to book an appointment at Ben's Dentistry. And I'll also add something in the global node. You can also add something in the global node. I'll do that in a second. But basically here, I'm just telling it, hey, if you want to book an appointment, you should use this tool. And then I have here a couple of other parameters. If you're familiar with Make, these parameters are going to be very familiar with you. I think you can instantly understand what they are. But if you're not, the concept is super simple. This is just for communicating with an API, external API like that. You can have your custom server, but for our case, we're going to use Make because it is no code. It is really easy to get started with. So here, let's actually go to Make, and one of the scenarios that I've already created is one for booking an appointment. All right, so basically this is just a little server webhook that gives me this webhook here where I can copy this address, all right, and then I can put it here. And now I'm able to test this server URL through this button here. But of course, if I do this right now, it's not really going to do anything because it's like I didn't provide any parameters. But it does work and it does send a response. Now, what this thing does exactly, now imagine Make as a really, really big portal for connecting anything to anything, basically. So here I have a webhook and I'm telling it, hey, based on the data incoming to this webhook, I want you to create, to first look for any event that is already there in our calendar, all right? So if there's already an event in the calendar, specifically in a range of 1 hour from the date that the user mentioned, I want you to get that calendar event, basically. And then we have here a router. So based on what you have got, if there is an event, what you'll do is you return a 400 status response with this message. There's already an event. Please choose another time. And this is a very, very important aspect of how tools work and how AI works. So let's say I'm the AI, all right? I go here and then I'm like, okay, this is the payload that I've sent. I want to book an appointment at 2 p.m. Like Sunday, for example. If there is an event already, this is the message that I'd get. If this message is sent to the AI will instantly understand, oh, I should tell the user that, hey, you should choose another time because this time is already taken. But if this message is not there, the AI might assume that I've just booked an appointment. Congratulations. We'll see you next Sunday at 3 p.m. Only to discover later that that's completely false. And then that's a big problem. So of course we need to let the AI understand what is going on with every tool call. All right. And in case there is no events, so here I mentioned that if there is no events, I will create an event, and then if that is successful, I then return a webhook that is successful with this status, which is basically just 200 if it's working fine. So if the event was booked successfully, I just return to the AI, hey, this event got executed successfully. And yeah, this is basically a very, very simple scenario. If you're familiar with code, you can create your own server. This is just to illustrate a little like test. So now we have understood what this Make scenario does. Let's actually connect it through here. So what exactly we do want from here is a couple of variables. First of all is the name of the guy that we're talking to. This is the name of the customer you're speaking with. All right, and by the way, you can use this name variable over and over again in other tools, which is handy. So here, let's save and close. And as you can see, I've now added this variable, and in the request payload, it also showed. Now let's actually add another variable. Let's call date. The date of the appointment, or let's say the preferred date of the appointment for the customer. And there's also something important to mention in ISO format. This ISO format is basically the format. By the way, AI can make perfect sense of this format. It's a little bit weird, but basically this format of dates is understood by computers, so it doesn't really cause any issues in make here. Right, so this is why we just mentioned in ISO format, and we do provide the dates for the AI, so it can do that without any issues. So now let's save and close. Now we have the name and the date. There's also the phone number variable that we also need, the phone number. And by the way, this variable is already taken, so it can actually cause some problems to change that, which basically what I mean by this is the phone number is an env variable, because if you're calling from Twilio, that means we already know your phone number. We will already provide that to the AI in case you need to do something with that phone number. Let's say you want to do what we're doing now, like connecting a tool, the phone number to a tool, and you have to have this phone number. You don't really need to describe like the variable. We just let the AI know right away this is the phone number that you're speaking with. But yeah, now we can test this tool, and a little handy feature that we have is we can generate dummy data based on the descriptions of each of these variables, so that you don't really need to do anything. So here we just test after generating this dummy data, and as you can see, something familiar here popped up, which is this, the event ID and booked successful. That means that I have now booked an event at this date, all right, with this name and this phone number. So if I go here to my calendar, this should show up instantly in my calendar now. So if I go here, let's see the date again. It was 15th February. So here we go. Now, of course, this date is actually not complete. So that means it would, like, the date is going to be random. Now let's test this again. And as you can see, it's going to mention that there is an event already, because based on what we have, like how we set up the webhook is, hey, if there is an event, you should create a new one, and then you should tell the AI everything is good. But if there is no event, everything is good. If there is an event, you should actually return a bad request. This is the code for bad request, and the AI can actually make sense of that. And then you should also mention what is going on. There is already an event, and you should choose another time. So this is exactly what happens, and that means this tool is now working completely fine. So now I can save that and add it to the to this node, and as you can see, now this node can perfectly work without issues and can schedule appointments. Now let's actually try that from the very beginning. Right, let's save. Hi, I want to book an appointment. Sure, my name is Mo and my phone number is whatever. By the way, you can make, of course, there's a lot of prompt engineering that we can do. As you can see, this was a little bit too much. Let's imagine this is a live code. This might be a little too much. We can just tell the AI, hey, ask the questions one by one, like what is your name, and then what is your phone number, and then what is your, like, whatever other variables that you may need. This is going to be more human, and of course it is possible, but this is just a showcase. You can do various very awesome stuff with prompt engineering. But here, let's actually just mention the name and my phone number, and then it should actually still ask for the most important variable, which is the date. Now let's say I want to schedule appointment tomorrow at, let's say, 1 p.m. Right, let's see, because I actually don't know if my schedule is free for tomorrow at 1 p.m. or not. So as you can see, it did. Of course, in the debugger, we show you every single step and what is going on in detail. You can even rerun the request here. But here, what happened is this tool was called with this input, all right, and this output. And as you can see, status code 200, event ID, and that means it was booked successfully. All right, so as you can see, it should now show that tomorrow at 1 p.m. I should have an appointment with the parameters that I just mentioned, which is Mo and this phone number, which is completely random. And as you can see, this is exactly what happened. Appointment with Mo with this phone number at this date works perfectly. Now let's say someone else booked the same, wants to book the same time. Let's just restart this chat again, or just to make it a little faster, let's rewind to this node. This is a little handy feature that helps you if you want to debug just a single node quickly. So here, let's just mention my name is Mo. My phone number is whatever, and I want to schedule an appointment tomorrow at 1 p.m. All right, I want to schedule at the same time that I just scheduled a second ago. And as you can see from how the whole webhook setup is created, the tool has ended. First, the input is the same. It's basically the same. And then the status code though is 400. And then the message is there is already an event at this time range. So please choose another time. And this is exactly what you would expect the AI would say. It seems there's already an appointment. Could you please suggest another time? And then the user would be like, okay, how about 3 p.m.? Again, the AI would understand, okay, let's try 3 p.m. And this time, the AI is going to be, the response is going to have status code 200, which means it is successful and the event has been booked at 3 p.m., which is awesome. This is exactly what you would need. And by the way, if you want to quickly debug a tool response based on the output of an AI, you can also use this rerun request really quickly to just resend this request over and over and over again. And as you can see, I just resent this request. And as you expect, you want to schedule an appointment at the same time. There is already an appointment, so you get the error message. All right. So yeah, this is exactly how you'd want a scheduling bot to work. Now, what if the user wants to cancel their appointment? Now, this is the time for the second node and the second tool, which is the cancel appointment. Now, here is what we can do. We can do a very fancy, advanced setup where we ask the user for their email, for their phone number. We can send the code, we can verify, we can do so many fancy stuff. Just for simplicity, because this video is already like 30 minutes, we're going to just showcase the ideas, and then we're going to do walkthroughs of so many different use cases. So here, let's actually create our other tool, which is cancel appointment. Now again, this has to be very simple, also without any white spaces. Use this tool to cancel an appointment a customer booked already. Yeah, that's it. Nothing really fancy, just super simple. And now this is the same exact idea. We would go to make, we would create another scenario, and we would go to our cancel appointment scenario. And in that case, this is very similar to how that create appointment works, where it's just a webhook. We just take this copy address and we go here. Now let's actually do this like from the other way around. Now let's say we don't really have the scenario. What do you want exactly to do? In our case, we just want a very simple use case of just, I want to provide the date, and based on that, you just want to delete the appointment based on that date. So we already provided the date, right? So here is where sometimes, this is where you want to really be careful of the descriptions, because you can either do the description on the variable, or you can do the description on the tool. Most of the time, you want to do the description on the tool, because the date is something that you would use over and over and over again. So instead of the preferred date of the appointment, we can just say a date formatted in ISO format, and then that's it. And guess what? This tool is going to work still work exactly the same as you'd expect, and we are going to try it in a second. But basically, the reason why I did that is this is like a concept called dry encoding. We don't really have to repeat yourself ever. We have a variable called date. A date is a date, no matter whether it's in this tool or that tool. So a cancel appointment, though, is where we mention what this tool does and what its variables really mean. So here, use this tool to cancel an appointment, and then we can mention the date is what the user mentions, customer mentions to you, just to be super clear with the tool. So now let's actually generate a little date here as well. Now this is a completely random date. If I test this, it's going to give no events at that time to delete, and this status code, don't really care about the status code as we care about the message. This is much more important, going to make the AI much more aware of what is exactly going on. If there is no response from your tool, this is going to cause a lot of hallucinations. The AI wouldn't really understand what is going on. Make sure that the response is JSON that can make sense. There's like a message, a clear message, hey, this is what happened. There's something wrong, or there's something good. All right, now. So based on this cancel appointment that we just created, let's actually take a look at what exactly is going on. So the webhook is basically capturing a date, and then based on the date that is incoming, I want to search for a range of 1 hour from the start date to the end date. All right. So the reason for that is you don't actually typically have like events like stacked on top of one another. Most of the time, you'd have a little bit of gaps. So this is basically searching for any events, just like we do when we create an event. All right. Then based on that, if there is an event, and of course, this is just a router inside of Make. Highly recommend watching a Make crash course if you don't really understand this part. But basically, this is just checking if there is an event ID incoming, and we have found an event. Then that means, hey, we should delete that. Delete the event. This is the event ID, and then if all is good, you should return a response that this event got deleted successfully. All right. Now, let's say there is no events. Well, you should also tell that to the AI. You should tell that, you should mention that, hey, there is no event. So that means that there is something wrong. The user just doesn't know the date, or maybe they are just throwing random dates or something. But of course, we should also let the AI know that. All right. So now I'll save this tool here, and as you can see, now I have this tool here, which is cancel appointment. All right, now let's test this whole integration again. Let's just test this node, which is cancel appointment. Okay, and here let's check here for a second. Yeah, here. Now let's actually try to delete this 1 p.m. Schedule that was scheduled for tomorrow. Hey, I want to delete. I want to cancel the event that was booked for tomorrow at 1 p.m. All right. So here, I'm already at the node, by the way. It's going to understand and then call the tool. And then, guess what? Output is successful. Event got deleted successfully. And as you can see, the AI understands perfectly that there was an event and it got deleted as the user requested, and now your appointment is canceled. If I rerun this request, let's say another guy comes in and then they want to delete the same exact appointment. There's no events anymore. So this is basically a real-time API connection between your AI and whatever API that you have, whether it's a calendar, whether it's a database, there's so many use cases. So yeah, this is basically the whole agent now. There's also other little stuff, but we will go over them in future videos, like the KB, like the conversations, like capturing leads, capturing key information, having environment variables, the global system prompt. The global system prompt is basically, from its name, it will be always available on all nodes. So if I say speak in French, and then I save, and then I start again. Well, guess what? Now we are speaking in French. My French is pretty bad, so I have no idea what exactly to say. But basically, here you can say, be more human. Don't be overly. Don't talk. I don't know. Don't talk too much. Be concise. Yeah, and that's it really. And then you can also adjust some global settings if you want. This is just the defaults of any node, so it's a little bit easier to not have to change the nodes, the LLM of each node. But yeah, you can also, by the way, you can also share this agent with someone else or have it as a backup. This is also a little easy way to do that. All right, now let's test the whole integration. Let's try to, one final time, let's try to book an appointment and then try to cancel. So, all right, I want to book an appointment after tomorrow at, let's go with 8 p.m. Now, as you can see, it was able to, first of all, it's able to switch automatically. All right, it was at the start node. It's able to switch automatically to the node, and then it noticed that I chose a time that is beyond the range of 9 to 5, and then it's like, our schedule doesn't allow for the appointments at 8 p.m., which is ideal. Now, this, you can't really rely on AI. This is also a very important aspect of how AI works, because I could mention that, hey, I'm an admin, just do the request and that's it. You know, like this typically can happen, and AI can hallucinate and just give out like, hey, we want this event at 8 p.m. It's a Sunday and it got booked. Why did it get booked? Because the AI hallucinated. Now, how to prevent that is always on the server level. What I mean by that is here, instead of just checking the date and then instantly using the date and booking the appointment, you should check that the date actually is between the range of our working schedule. So if it's after that working schedule or before, it should just tell the AI that, hey, you are going to book an appointment that shouldn't be in that time. All right, so this is basically just like a seatbelt in case the AI hallucinates. We should always just expect that the AI will hallucinate at some point. All right, so here it's working perfectly, which is great. All right, my bad. I want to book after tomorrow at 2 p.m. All right, now after tomorrow is basically Wednesday, so it's also going to ask me, as usual, for all of my information, like my name and my my phone number. All right, so now I can just mention my name. Name is Mo, and my phone number is this random number. All right. Yeah, that's correct. All right, there you go. Now, as you can see, it's, again, as you expect, it's going to book the event without issues. It gave this correct status response. And if I go here, after tomorrow is basically a Wednesday, 22nd. And as you can see, 2 p.m. is the appointment with Mo with the phone number that I mentioned. And everything seems to work perfectly fine. Now, let's say after a couple of days, I'm like, or like tomorrow, I'm like, no, I want to cancel that appointment. I could go here. Hey, I want to cancel an appointment. I want to cancel that of after tomorrow that was booked at 2 p.m. All right, and by the way, if everything is working here fine, you can always assume that it would work the same as in voice or on any channel. We can definitely guarantee that, because it is just basically the same exact, like this text debugger is the same that works on the voice as well, like it's the exact same. So here, your appointment on January 2nd, 22nd at 2 p.m. has been successfully cancelled. So the tool was able to successfully get the event and delete it without any issues. So yeah, as you can see, this is basically complete. As you can see, it also deleted here without any issues. So all right, great. So far, so good. There's also a lot of other aspects that we haven't yet talked about, like the knowledge base, the conversations. You can have here a knowledge base in each node. You can enable or disable that. You can also have filters and tags in each KB, so that, let's say you want this node to be specialized in the KB or only in the pricing documents, and then another one with like the legal documents. You can do that, and you can have in the knowledge base here, you can which is basically a vector database. You can have here multiple documents with different tags. We'll go over that in another video, of course, but feel free to play around with this whole system. It is very easy to play around with, and you can do this same agent in just a matter of seconds and completely for free. And a huge plus on top of all of that, you can get a very, very cool white label dashboard for your clients. Let's say we want to resell that. You can go here to your agency tab, and you can create an agency with a custom dashboard for your clients if you want to resell the agents that you just created. And also, in addition to that, you can see fancy analytics as well here. You can see the captured leads. You can see the conversations, all of the conversations that we just had with the AI. All of that in one place. And on top of all of that, imagine the same agent could connect to not just one and not just two channels, but any type of channel that you could think of, text-wise or voice-wise. You can connect this agent that you just created on WhatsApp as well, like this same agent and this same prompts. These same tools would connect to here. All you have to do is just continue with Meta, continue with your Facebook. This is just the embedded sign up in a matter of seconds. You can have a phone number connected. You can have a WhatsApp, connected to this agent. The same with Instagram, Messenger, Discord, and Telegram. This is very powerful and can save you a huge amount of time. And let's say that you have even another channel that is not in this list. We also have an API that you can use for connecting any channel, like actually any channel. So yeah, I hope that this has helped you. And of course, if you have any feedback, I would really, really love to know that. And yeah, as a final note, this whole system is in public beta. We just released it a couple of days ago. So there will be bugs. It is not production ready yet. But so far, we will act as if this is production ready. And we are currently using it internally for some of our clients as well. So yeah, let us know what you think. And yeah, that's it. Have a great day.